Welcome to Raw Radio.
And we are live, Gary. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Whoa, that was very monotone. And
Was it?
yeah,
I apologize.
it
I
was
am fantastic.
You're such a dork.
I am a dork. Absolutely 100%. And I embrace it.
Yeah.
It was a long time in my life where I tried to pretend I wasn't. But once I accepted it, boy, did I become a much freer person.
I feel like
It's true.
we should end this takeaway right now.
You want to end it now, or should we make it about that by accepting who you are? We'll change the subject.
What a great guest this week.
Yes.
We had Ryan Ford on the show, and I'm
Hey,
pretty sure.
Are you sure? Oh, there we go. Okay, go ahead.
What? I
Yes,
am
we had Ryan Ford.
recording. What are you talking about?
The little red dot wasn't there. I got nervous for a
Jesus,
second.
can we start over?
All right,
This is
sure.
ridiculous.
And we're live.
Listen, we had Ryan on the Ford. Ryan on the Ford. We had Ryan on the show. Ryan Ford on the show. You might not know who Ryan Ford is, but what you do know, you very likely, if you're in jiu-jitsu, you very likely listen to his podcast, right?
Yes.
Gary, have you listened to his podcast?
I have. Oftentimes, I've listened to the Grappling Central podcast, and Ryan does an amazing job there, and he's going on to pursue an even bigger venture, I should say, with the podcast. And I think my biggest takeaway was pursuit. He pursued starting his own podcast, really stuck with it. One of the biggest ones out there, 460 something odd episodes in.
If I'm not
and now he's
mistaken,
moving on.
if I'm not mistaken, he is the most listened jiu-jitsu podcast, period.
Mhm.
I don't know the exact stats, but I know I did have these conversations with him before, and I do believe he's number one at this point as it stands. And as you mentioned, he's phasing out and or transitioning into BJJ Fanatics is going to take over, or he's going to take over BJJ Fanatics podcast. They're going to merge together, and it's going to be one big platform of variety of different conversations on topics of judo, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, martial arts, self-defense, and so on. So it's very interesting how all that comes along, but this is not without let's make this clear. He didn't get lucky on this.
No, he worked.
This is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. 6 years of grinding, being on air, having these conversations, and driving towards the goal, which puts us in this interesting topic of what did we call this officially?
Well, pursuit.
Pursuit, right?
He's pursuing something that he is extremely what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say involved,
Passionate
but
about.
interested in.
Yeah,
Passionate.
passionate,
Yeah, there we
yeah.
go. Passionate about. And through hard times and through not wanting to do it because of the grind, wanting to quit at certain moments, not seeing the fruits of his labor. He just kept at it, and now he's moving on to just a huge. I mean, if I can't imagine anybody who listens to us doesn't know about BJJ Fanatics. Like, how do they not? Some of the biggest names out there are doing instructionals for these guys, work for these guys, and he's taking over all of their podcasting platforms, and it's due to him pursuing his dream. Right?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on pursuing a dream, pursuing a goal? What are your thoughts? How do you take this in your personal life? Like, to what level do you take this chase of this point in time, or this goal, which often we don't see? It's often is not tangible. We can't touch, right? What's your plan typically to be successful with these things?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I mean, I think you just have to keep your head down and keep pushing forward. There's going to be a ton of obstacles. Like I said just a second ago, you're not going to see the fruits of your labor right away. He said something that was pretty interesting, that most podcasts, like they do 7 episodes. That's it. And here he's in almost to 500, and now moving on to bigger and better things. We brought up that we celebrate our 50th, which is which is his episode number 50. And he's like, yeah, man, for sure. It's a big deal. Right. Um, and there's been times for us too, where it's like, I don't know, is this really worth it? People don't see how much goes into it. Just the same way when you have something that you're pursuing, in your life, the listeners' lives, that people don't see how hard they're working at whatever it may be, whether it's on the mats or a hobby that they have that they're turning into something bigger. People don't see the work that it takes. And because you're not getting gratification, maybe you might want to think about packing it in, giving it up, because why am I doing this if nobody's appreciating it? Why am I doing it if I only have X amount of listeners? Why am I doing it if I'm not getting the promotion that I think I deserve? But if you're really passionate about it and you keep pursuing it, those things are more likely than not going to come. Or even if they don't, it's going to help you transition into other things probably that you're going to be successful at.
So how would you define being passionate in your mind? Like what triggers or what points, what characteristics you see when you would say I'm passionate about something or he is passionate about something? What defines the passion?
Investment. Being willing to continue to invest in something. Just off the top of my head, that's what's coming to mind. Investing your time, your labor, your heart, your sweat, the sacrifices that you have to make.
Mm-hmm.
All those things, right, turn into a passion for something, and then and it helps you pursue whatever you're looking to achieve. And that could just be simple as getting better, just getting better.
Mm-hmm.
There doesn't have to be some like pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You just want to keep incrementally getting better at something.
Yeah, I think like as I'm thinking about this right now, the moment when I personally find myself in a position where I am not looking for anything in return, that's where I would define me being passionate about something. So what I mean by this, if I, let's say this, this platform, these conversations, right? We having this conversation with amazing people like Ryan. It is not about this show being the most amazing one. We obviously want the show to be good, but that's not the goal. The goal is for these conversations to actually be tangible, something that people can benefit, something that I can benefit from.
Right.
The moment we're not doing this for right reasons, that's why I think the passion is disappearing. And that's where I would start questioning whether it even makes sense to continue doing that.
That's why I like doing the takeaways, right? Because during the episode, what did I highlighted? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things that this could be about today.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I take out of these episodes and doing them. It's not like I'm going to benefit financially or I'm going to benefit in some other way. It's what am I going to learn today? What am I going to take away from it? What is talking to this person going to do for us on an intellectual level or an emotional level? Some of these have been pretty emotional. And so that's what I'm looking for out of this, and everything else that comes along with it is gravy. But, if I get up in the morning and it's like, oh, I've got to talk to this person.
I gotta go to Thomas again.
Then
I gotta see him at the academy.
Right? And then I gotta go home, and then I gotta come back an hour later to train. Damn.
Oh, your life is so miserable.
It is. But what am I thinking about here? I guess you got to be in it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Do you determine what those right reasons are? I don't know. I think maybe they're predestined a little bit.
Well, you have to accept it, right? I mean, if something is forced upon you, and you don't accept it for what it is, then you will never succeed. You're doing something that you're unwilling to do.
Right. Or you're going into it for the wrong reasons. I mean, Ryan, I'm sorry was doing this for a year and a half before he really saw any financial gains from it. Now, if he's not in it for the right reason and he's not pursuing something, um,
Well, I'm pretty confident that 99% of people would quit being in his position,
yeah,
if you don't
for
have
sure.
passion for doing what what we are doing. Even in our spot, like I mean, I mean, life is good, but at the same time, if we wanted to, you know, be in it not for the conversations, I think it
Mhm.
would be the turnaround would be very, very different right now. And in my mind, the biggest return on what we do here right now is the fact that we can talk to people like Ryan. We can talk to people, excuse me, like Pedro, Eli, or Travis, and getting these golden pieces of information that
Mhm.
some others are not willing to share, and we have direct access to them on this platform live. We can talk to them, ask them anything we want, and hopefully that makes us a better person. And then hopefully the listeners who are listening to this actually can have some takeaways and really benefit from this. I mean, that's literally the bottom line for me.
Yeah, for sure. And I think if you look at the people, if you look at the 50 guests we've had on, some are bigger names than others, and those people that you might not know about, that a listener might be like, I've never heard of this person. Um, those are the episodes where you really learn something about people, or you really learn something about jujitsu,
Hmm.
or why we do what we do, or the struggles that they've been through, that you can maybe will teach you to be a little more empathetic, or may shine a light on your life and think and the struggles that you've gone through, and give you some hope, um, or something, to pursue. And I think those are the reasons really to talk. We when we did our very first episode, we were like, why do we want to do this? It wasn't because we wanted to talk to people about technique, right? It wasn't about, talking to people about matches. Those things might come up, but it was really to talk to people about them and who they are, right?
Hmm.
And I think that, you know it's obvious if you listen to Ryan, um, that and he even brings it up in the episode, that those were the reasons kind of that he was in it too, right? Is to talk to these people and get their stories and get to know them, and learn from them. And I think those are reasons to pursue anything, is to learn from it,
Well, and
right?
I
What?
think similar to jujitsu, right? You're not going to breach this, re-
Of
link this
course.
to jujitsu somehow, right? But the same thing on jujitsu. I mean, we have all these, we're pursuing this art, we're trying to figure this out, we're trying to learn new skills. And often there are all these obstacles. Not often, actually, I'm going to rephrase this. More often than not, there are these obstacles of, you know, most of them completely out of our control, and we have to navigate around them. I mean, that's not an easy task. And
Mhm.
do you think that's part of the reason why majority of people quit jujitsu?
Yeah, I think so. I think, and then it's hard.
So how do you pursue jujitsu to be successful?
Uh, all those things that you need to do in anything else. You need to take notes. You need to be passionate about it. You need to um, navigate it. You need to set yourself up so that some of those bigger obstacles aren't in the way anymore. If that means switching gyms, switch gyms. If it means,
Is this the
hope,
official notice you're leaving?
no, nobody would take me on. Come on, you're stuck with me. Um, but what are you going to do? I mean, then you're going to start making up those excuses too, right? Oh, I don't want to go because I just spent an hour in the car. I don't want to go because I didn't go yesterday and I'm going to feel stupid, or I'm not learning anything because I haven't gone, most of the
You're not
month.
learning because you didn't show up.
Right. Exactly. So you have real tangible obstacles and challenges, but then you start getting in your own head and making up excuses too. How do you stop doing that? It's hard, but like I said, take notes, um, set your day up so you can get there. You talked a couple episodes ago about keeping a gi in your car. There's one excuse, right? I had to go home and get my gi, and by the time I got home, class had already started. Well, you don't have that excuse anymore, you know. And the more you do that type of stuff, the more excited you're going to be about going to class. It's like this. It's a snowball effect, but in a good way.
Hmm.
All those things start. pushing you through. And then you can start pursuing real goals on the mat. I want my purple belt. I want to get good at knee cuts. I want to get good at spider. I want to, I want to make sure that nobody can pass my guard, whatever it is, who cares? But you can start pursuing those things because you set yourself up for success in a way.
Yeah, no, I mean, you summarized it pretty good.
All right.
As all this is continue unfolding, let's pursue another 50. This was good 50 episodes. And,
Yes.
I said this last week, but I'm going to say it one more time. I do appreciate you being on the show and really your contribution is I think it's nice to have a different perspective on things. And I've enjoyed talking to you and having you together with all these guests and hearing what's in your mind, even though sometimes that's kind of scary, but
you don't want to dig too deep. No. And we've talked in the past about this on the air too. If this was your brainchild, your baby. So thanks for bringing me along with it. Your interviewing has grown by leaps and bounds. I was just thinking about it, excuse me, before we started recording this particular takeaway.
Hold on, wait. Are you about to give me a compliment? Let me make sure I'm recording this.
Yeah, you are recording. That's my compliment, is that you actually hit the record button more often than not now. But it's this is an amazing thing to do something like this, and people think it's easy. It's not. People don't see the time or the effort that goes into it on your end and mine. It's not just an hour of your day, BSing with somebody. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. I was sitting up late last night trying to get another episode together. And there's just a lot of logistics and a lot of stuff you have to do. But anything worth doing is going to be challenging. So whatever your pursuit is, or whatever you're pursuing, realize that it's going to be rough at times.
Out of strength.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about, one of you brought that up, that I think it was Ryan. He said that, if you're going to get into this podcasting thing, that it's a marathon, that you're going to be in it for a while before you see anything come to fruition. So, and that's like that with anything in life, whatever you want to do.
All right. 50 episodes behind us. Let's get on to the 50.
I hope so. Yeah. Let's keep doing it. We got our goals. We know who we want, and let's keep pursuing it.
All
right. Peace.
Later.
Thank you for listening to Raw Radio. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave us a review and help us make the show even more amazing. For future episodes, check out our website and follow us on all major podcast platforms. Take care.